Hi, this is Lakhi Singh, the property fixer, here to fix you and help you grow your property and your business affairs to the next level. So if you're looking for knowledge and insights about how to get involved in property, solve your problems about scalability in your property business, then do watch our 20-minute clips. We've taken them from hundreds and, well, thousands of videos that we've taken over the last 6 months, and we've broken them into simple chunks which can make them useful for you. So do watch and do subscribe to our YouTube channel underneath as well.
In order for them, because they kept coming to us, we approached them about buying the house initially, but they wanted a really, really silly price. So in the end, we left it and they came back to us and we actually agreed a price. But what we did, we loaned them the money to buy a brother out.
Okay, excellent.
We kind of arranged an agreement that they couldn't sell the property to anybody else. If they didn't complete the purchase with us, we charge them, I think it was about 3% interest from the day they took the money till the day they paid back the loan. So we managed to purchase the house, and it's I love that house.
Where did the award come from? Was it the lady who gave you an award?
No, what it was, because I was involved in property training. And I was selected as the student with the best property deal of the year, so that's how I got my award. So
okay,
it's on a shelf collecting dust somewhere. But an achievement.
Excellent. Okay, so the property training company gave you award. Okay, Lakhi, talking of training companies and commercial lending, please tell me, what are the matters revolving around training and compliancing in commercial lending?
Sorry, I'm not sure about the question.
The question is commercial lending and compliance. So what are the matters around compliance in commercial lending? Or are there any compliance matters in commercial lending?
Yeah, there's tons of compliance around lending. So you get two types of, keep it simple, you get two types of bridging loans, for example. One is a regulated bridge loan, and one is an unregulated bridge loan. And most bridging companies actually work in something called the unregulated market. So they don't have to be compliant to any regulatory body. They can pretty much lend the money they want through solicitors the way they want, but they are not allowed to lend to householders to a house which somebody lives in. So that's regulated. So what happens is, in terms of compliance, if you're living in a house and say you've got the house is worth 500,000, let's say the debt is 50,000, and you wanted to borrow, take a bridge out of another £150,000 to, let's just say, build a extension to the property, or to do something at a personal level, then this is where the compliance kicks in. You have to then take a regulated bridge out. So you can't take out a commercial loan, which is investment. So this is you basically have to then there's a set amount of lenders, let's say there's about 20 lenders in the market, and they can provide regulated loans. But that bridging loan or that lending, let's say for an additional 100,000 to develop your loft conversion or your extension, or to do something to the house, or even take the money out to maybe pay off a couple of credit cards, would actually mean it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks using these 20 panel of lenders, which are regulated bridging lenders. So that's one issue that's actually around compliance. That's quite important for a lot of people that don't know that much about bridging to know. But we get a lot of householders coming to us who've got a house with equity trapped in it, but they've gone out and bought 5 properties, and then they've run out of more deposit money, and they're looking for more funding, but they realize they've got money trapped in their house. And there's a lot of confusion actually around compliance, and they think I have to take a regulated loan out, and which is quite a laborious process. It can take 6 to 8 weeks. So they don't end up actually utilizing that equity at all because they think it's somewhat untouchable.
So are you saying the nature of bridging, I assume then, is that it's quite fast, so it doesn't take that long, so you can get bridging. How quick can you get the bridging loan for?
So regulated lending, the bridging can take let's just say 4 to 8 weeks at the very quickest. If you've got a very strong regulated lender, you might get it in 2 or 3 weeks. But on the whole, we specialize in commercial lending, which is not regulated. But there is a way.
Unregulated.
There is a way of
unregulated lending.
Unregulated.
You mean unregulated lending, right? Okay,
That's right. We are very quick on unregulated lending, but we also have access to suppliers that can supply regulated as well. But basically, there is also a way. This is a probably tip for everybody out there. There is also a way of taking money out from your residence as a second charge. If you're investing it into a limited company for business purposes.
Okay.
So you can actually take money out as long as the purposes for business investment or property investment.
Okay.
But it's got to be into a limited company. So we can do the unregulated second charge lending on a house, for example, and actually be compliant. So we're not breaking any laws or not being compliant, and get that done. We can do that in 48 hours.
Excellent. What about buy-to-let lending or commercial lending for the purpose of buy-to-let? How do you? Because I think the way Sonia's been doing it is through an IFA or a broker, and she's probably doing it the standard format, but she's not probably been introduced to real commercial lending and the speed of it, and obviously the flexibility of it. Is that right, Lakhi Singh?
Yeah, I think finance in itself is a huge minefield. It's like another area of expertise. So what happens is a lot of startup buy-to-let borrowers, they would go out and get standard purchasing. So when they approach the broker will actually only do what you ask them to do. Brokers don't always, unless they're very long in the tooth and been around the block, and they've got about 20 departments. They're not going to be able to know really what all the clever or creative ways of funding projects are. So Sonia, this is probably something useful for you to know. Did you know that through bridging, with one particular company we work with, if you found something, let's say for 200,000, and you were picking up for 100,000, they will lend you on the value of the property that rather than on the purchase price.
Oh, okay.
On the open market value. So they offer 75% of that. So you could basically be getting funding from them for 150,000. So
okay, with that bit of shocking news, I want to say a big shout out for Mina and from SM Manager. So I assume that's a sadomasochist manager or either the social media marketing manager. I'll let you guess. He says a good, interesting topic and a big shout out to everybody. So, yes, continue, like you say. You're talking about the fact that you have variations in lending and a lot of things that maybe Sonia's not aware of, and that's probably because she's working through a bulk standard broker IFA. So tell me, Sonia, how many properties have you got now? How many have you got now in your pool?
I've reduced to 4.
Just 4?
Yeah, just 4. But thankfully,
4 more than none.
Yeah, 4's more than none. Yeah, which is good.
That sounds very ambitious.
Yeah, because sold one just before lockdown.
4 more than 0. So for those people out there got no properties, you got 4 more than they have, and you're saying just 4. Very ambitious. So when did you sell the last one?
Just before lockdown.
Excellent. And how much did you make a killing on it?
I didn't make anything on it. Oh, long story. Family saga. Long story. I'll save that for another day.
Is that the first one that you bought when you put family money into it? Is that the one?
No.
That's another one, is it? Excellent.
I said there's I could write books.
Well, every life story is worth writing a book. It's just that you've got to get into being determined. And what is the saying of the week? You cannot keep a determined person down. So, Sonia, now that you've got this property empire, you've got your online business about to launch, you've got your flexible contract work. So tell me, where is everything going? Where are you? What's the target? Are you attempting to become the landlady of Ipswich? Is it that you're going to take over the East End? What's the plan? Where does that target go to? Where are you attempting to reach?
Yeah, well, I'm a lady of a certain age, and I've got a few more years before retirement, or official retirement.
Official,
so
right? Okay.
I don't want to be worrying about anything over the next few years. I just want to be able to settle back, live my life, enjoy my life, and not have to worry about anything. So having multiple streams of income, as long as they deliver, which they will.
Okay, excellent.
And residual income, I'll be able to do what I want when I want, and I'll be able to. Because my son's just finished university; he's just graduated as a psychology student.
Psychology.
Yeah, psychology student. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And he's got another 4 years of study because he wants to become a clinical psychologist. So I want to make sure that he achieves his goal, and I want to be there to support him, so he doesn't have to worry about anything.
Excellent, excellent. So that's the dream. You want to, in a short time, you want to retire. You don't want to have to worry about anything. But I'd assume that a person who's been spent a life working hard and worrying about the bills and worrying about the future and the targets, can you really stop worrying, Lakhi? That's the question. Do you stop worrying as a businessman with all the millions that you have? Can you really ever switch off, Lakhi? Or is this more about a habit and a lifestyle that you created around you, making moves as you always do? And do you stop making moves? Is that possible?
I think it all depends on the nature of the person. I think I personally don't really look at my work and my business as something different. I actually look at them as something I enjoy doing, actually. So I think I'll be forever, actually, let's just say the word work, I'll be forever working, because I actually see myself as already retired in my head, but I'm actually working harder and longer hours now than ever before. But it doesn't really feel like work, because literally going out, meeting people in London, having quite interesting meetings, trying to understand different types of businesses. So I'm getting involved in lots of new areas or new industries. So working on a couple of projects in Africa, working on a lot of property projects with high net clients. So I think there's always something to learn. So I think I'll forever be working, because I don't think I can get enough of it, to be honest. So I strive on actually working sort of 24 hours. So if I could work 24 hours, I'd do it, just because I get a kick out of it.
Excellent. Right. So you're talking about living with passion, as Mr. Wright says. We've got a new listener and a member of the group who says living with passion, Lakhi Singh. And apart from that, we've got a question that's come in from a Jill Lambert, I think, on YouTube. Gil, that's right. I think he or she says, do you still have to put skin in the game in that example you're giving, Lakhi? And I assume he or she's asking, do you have to put money down when you're doing those type of bridges if you got good deals? Is that right?
Nope. No, it's basically technically a no money down deal.
No money down deal. So they still are alive. I thought they were dinosaurs that went out a long time ago, but you're saying they're still around. Yes.
Well, put it this way, you've got to show that you've got the funds in place to be able to, let's just say, exit the bridge, and you've got to be able to have some sort of knowledge about what you're doing and some experience.
Without making too much a mention, Lakhi Singh, I've understood the point. The answer is you don't need to put your skin in the game, because otherwise it'll be painful, and you don't need to put any money into a deal if you know how. Is that right, Lakhi Singh?
That's right. I think it's just access to the right sort of power teams around you. So you've got to have the right solicitors, the right sort of bridging companies, and the right sort of brokers to be able to structure a deal like that. So, but they're probably, there's very few experts in knowing how to structure those type of deals.
Excellent. I assume you're one of those, Lakhi Singh.
That's right. I mean, we've been doing this for the last 30 years. So we've got probably tried every single type of structure to do money down deals. Done probably over 100 in the past.
Okay. We've got Mohsin Ravjani spreading the love all over to everyone. Says good morning to everyone and all. Good morning to you, sir, Mohsin Ravjani. Thank you so much for your shout out. Okay, topic is now come back to Sonia. So Sonia, Empire, the plan for the future, sipping pina coladas in Kent on a rainy day with a sunscreen on. What is it that you have to ask from Lakhi Singh, because you're here today talking to the man himself, the fixer? Is there anything that's in the back of your head to do with properties or things you've done in the past that have gone wrong? I felt a bit of frustration there with the family property, and effectively having a property and not making any money out of it. It's a bit of a misnomer. Obviously, you're getting into something to make money. So anything you've got or any questions that are coming up in your mind after having spoken about your experiences and also heard Lakhi that you've got that you would find interesting?
Well, personally, I would, if I had a chance to rewind the clock, I would never ever get my family involved in property, because I think unless you're working with people who've got the same mindset, it just causes all sort of problems. So I think that's one thing I would never do. In terms of, I think with properties, it's a learning curve, because sometimes you see something.
Are you genuinely content? Are you happy that you took the step into property and that you've got these 4 assets now that are probably yielding, and you've got a money-making machine there ticking away, clocking up the money every day? Are you happy with the decision? Yes or no?
Yeah, because it's all part of life. The thing is, sometimes you have to go for it. You're never going to learn unless you try it yourself. You can read loads of books, you can have the theory. A surgeon can read a book how to do an operation, but until he does the operation, he's not going to know. So it's about what you learn in practice.
Sonia, did you operate on anyone? Have you operated on someone?
Oh yes, I have. Yeah.
All the time.
Oh, you have to ask my husband that. He'll be able to tell you.
Doctors and nurses. Yeah, I like that. Okay. We've got a special guest on tomorrow. A gentleman by the name of, let me just check. Okay, Mr. Gurmel Singh Johal got you on tomorrow. So we're going to have an interesting chat with Mr. Gurmel tomorrow about his future and his day and his business interests, similar to Sonia. And we'll get to know the people who are on the group. And Sonia, what you will find within the group, and I assume you're seeing that the alternative business and property solutions group is about opening up and having a chat like we've just done with you. Found out so much about you, finding out about the MLM and this next generation. Is it called next? What was it?
Next to rise.
That's it. Next rise in the generation of multi-level marketing. And we wouldn't have known this had we not opened up to people and told them to come on and share knowledge with each other and tell each other about business. Technically, you've got people who probably will want to know about this. And because you're on the group, we invite people, obviously, to have a look and talk to Sonia. There are no holes barred here. The purpose of the Alternative Business and Property Solutions community is, like Lakhi Singh, by your own words, is?
To help people.
Exactly. To help people, to help the economy, help people to get back on their feet, because a lot of people out there. I think one of the things you missed, Lakhi Singh, I think I read this in one of your articles, is that you predict the unemployment market is going to rise. It's going to get really bad. At the moment, it's bad. It's going to get worse. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, I'm not sure if everybody's aware, I think most people would be by now, there's an announcement that there's going to be another 6-month lockdown.
Yeah.
So I think, well, I know I'm sort of pretty much 100% sure now that not many people in the UK are going to be left in a position where they've got nothing to worry about. I think there'll be a lot of concern. I mean, I spent an hour talking to a taxi driver yesterday, dropping me off to my car yesterday, and he said, started telling me all his problems because he wasn't too sure whether he to sell. He's got a lot of money trapped in his property, which is worth 250 up north. He's got £100,000 debt, and he's thinking, should I sell it now or should I finance it out? So a lot of people are now sort of really panicking about their pensions or their retirement schemes.
Okay, Lakhi, I'm going to have to leave you there with that thought. Obviously, the future seems slightly bleak. We're going to pick up on it tomorrow with Mr. Grimel. We've got a question or a comment from a lady by the name of Mrs. Grims, I think, and I hope I've got that right, apologies, who says it's all about the mindset and the attitude. So we'll continue with that. Sonia, thank you so much for coming on today. We've run out of time.
Sonia.
Over time. I think your story was very interesting. I think you can have on sometime in the future. Thank you so much. Lakhi Singh, the Property Fixer. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 8 a.m. tonight.